Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Fame with Tiffany Renee. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber or you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. On this channel, we talk about everything metaphysics, quantum physics, spirituality, energy, frequency, vibration, all of those delicious things that cater to our life experience as humans on this 3D physical plane. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments. I always read the comments. I love everyone's comments. If you would like a personal channel message, since I just announced that I am openly doing collective channeling, I just uploaded the first video last night. You can check that out. But if you want a personal channel message for you, or you want some manifestation coaching, or if you want to take advantage of any of the fantastic services that I have, including the Boss Up Bundle for only $55.55 that ends tonight, that sale ends tonight, feel free to click on the link. I will leave it in the description box below. So today, depending on where you are in the country, it is cold, it is snowing. So I am indoors right now, slightly congested. So I apologize. This was a wash day. We washed the hair. We took off the nail polish. We're going to repaint the nails. We've done the toes last night. We're in my Todrick Hall shirt. Yes, it is jacked up because I've worn it so much and I've run it through the washing machine so much. But we're chilling today. The Golden Globes come on tonight, so we're chilling this Sunday. But I wanted to make a video because I want to talk about faith. This is something that has been popping up in my experience a lot, so I feel like, okay, maybe I need to make a video about this. Maybe I need to talk about faith, and not in the traditional way. What I want to talk about is, according to the title, stop trying to make faith make sense. Okay? And I have a previous video that I talked about when I was reading excerpts from The Infinite Way by Joel Goldsmith. You can check that out. And I read a part where he talked about truth and people trying to digest spiritual wisdom using their mental intellect. To me, that is very much what many times we try to do with faith. We try to intellectualize faith. We try to make it make sense. We try to dilute it, okay, into what the logical mind, what the conscious mind can digest, right? And I think that's where we get caught up a lot of the times, especially when we're trying to call something forth into our world. Sorry, somebody's vacuuming if you can hear that. But when we want to manifest something, or we want to have a specific outcome or specific desires or whatever the case may be, we try to we pose the question, like, how can I do this? How can I get this done? Right? And the first thing that happens is we try to logically come up with a solution. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of noise happening all of a sudden. It was like super quiet. Now it's just noise from outside, noise from here. My apologies. But I think that's where the frustration comes in, because you hear all the time, the greats and gurus and other coaches are telling you, don't worry about the how. Just command what you desire, command what you want to experience, command your ideal outcome, look at your ideal reality. You are the observer, quantum physics, you are the observer. Whatever you put your awareness on, or what your dominant thoughts are, your dominant narrative that's running, that is what materializes. That's what creates your reality. That's what it gets impressed on the quantum field, and matter does its thing, and you get to experience that thing or that experience or that circumstance or whatever the case may be. So, in the events that something that you want seems so far out of your reach, it seems so far out of the realm of possibility for you to have it, not that it's impossible that it can materialize, but the fact that it can materialize for you, you have problems believing that. Because in your mind, whatever thoughts, beliefs, narratives you have, you don't really think that it's likely or probable for you to have that thing or for you to experience that thing. So you have faith that it's possible for that thing to show up, but you just don't believe that it's possible for you, right? That's a narrative that's running. And so you may see more often than not other people getting the things that you want, the things that's on your list that you've been scripting about, or that you've been trying to manifest. You'll see other people getting it because it's simply going off of your own frequency. It's giving you what you really are. And what you really are is a version of you that believes that these things are possible, that all things are possible, but they're just not all possible for me. So I can witness other people getting those things because for whatever reason you think they're better than you, they're more special, or because their status, or because of who they are, who they know, what they do, whatever. Doesn't matter, fill in the blank. So that's where your faith lies, right? And according to biblical scriptures, be it unto you according to your faith, correct? Right? And you don't have to be a Christian or anything. I'm not a Christian, but I know that, you know. So um I know that saying is in the Bible, be it unto you according to your faith. It is similar in Islam. It's just said a bit differently, but it's the same principle, okay? Where your faith dictates what you're going to experience, what you have faith in, right? So faith is not made to make sense to the human mind because faith is a supernatural thing. Faith is an energy. It is unbiased. It has no preference. It doesn't care about who you are, what you are, whatever. Be it unto you according to your faith. Whatever you have faith in, wherever your dominant thoughts are, your dominant vibrations are, whatever you believe to be true, it is true. Okay? Like the famous quote, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. It doesn't matter. So when people say, I have faith that this thing is going to work out for me, from the 3D surface, logic is jumping in and it's saying, you're absolutely insane. Because we can't come up with a way that this is going to work. So there's no way that it's going to work. You're delusional if you think that you can actually get that thing. Are you serious? Well, I have faith that it's just going to happen. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen harmoniously and it's going to be perfect. The unfolding is perfect. I already know. I trust that it's going to happen because I have faith in it. And then your logical mind tries to bulldoze its way in to tell you that makes no sense. Or people in your 3D reality will maybe judge you, maybe condemn you, right? Tell you, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, I mean, that sounds nice. Or, I mean, you can always hope. I mean, sure, we can have faith, but you have to be practical, though. You have to take practical steps, though. You still have to do W, X, Y, Z. Because that's what they believe has to happen in order for you to logically get that thing, for it to make sense. So you could say, oh, I have faith that, the Lord is going to work it out for me, while you still try to implement very practical things to create the bridge for you to get that thing. Okay, so again, you're not really utilizing faith, you're utilizing your logic, what makes sense to do. And I'm not talking about inspired action. I'm not saying that you will never ever take action, okay? Because to quote Tom Caron, and I don't think he was quoting someone when he said, there is always action to take, but there is never anything to do. So you might be inspired to do something, even if it is as simple as just sitting still for 10 minutes. That's your action, right? That's your inspiration. So you can have inspired action to be at a certain place at a certain time, or you may feel inspired, or your intuition might tell you, go ahead and drop this off right now. And then you do, and you run into whoever you wanted to run into, or something happens, and it gets you exactly what it is that you wanted in the most incredible, most miraculous way. Same with people with healing. They have faith that they're going to be healed, whatever. Those they might still take the medicine, they may still have the surgery, but where the probability maybe of the success rate is very low, their faith will make sure that they get through it with no problems. Right? Um, when it comes to faith and the human mind, as humans, we're kind of wired to try to make sense of the world around us. So labels become super important. Like humans throw labels on everything, okay? Because things have to be categorized and compartmentalized and labeled so that everything has a place and everything is placed in those categories so that we can make sense of whatever it is pertaining to those things or those categories or those individuals or whatever. And once we have decided on the label or what we're going to call it or how we're going to approach this thing, and we've put it in books, we've put it in journals, or we've made articles about it, we've made it a law, or we've made it FDA approved, or we've made it whatever, right? We've gotten all this data together to support this thing that we've labeled based on our own personal observations about it and what we have decided this is what it should be or what it should not be. And then people like we take it and run with it. Like we give it like a stamp of finality. Like this is it. It can't be anything else but this. It can't be any other way but this. And if there is another way, then we're either not going to acknowledge it, we're going to call it evil, or we're going to say, "Oh, it's a miracle and it's a fluke and it's a one-off thing." All because we can't make sense of it, right? And the late great Bob Proctor said beautifully in the movie The Secret, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that you should reject it. Okay? Sometimes we don't understand fully how faith really works and how it's able to move mountains, literally to do things the way it does things when we have no physical evidence to support the thing that we want. All we have is the faith in here that, well, it's going to happen. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. There's been so many times when I wanted to go to a concert or I needed money or there was a situation and I wanted a good outcome. And my 3D was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. We cannot come up with a logical way for you to have the outcome that you desire. It's just not going to happen. But we can come up with a logical way to soften the blow, but you're not going to really get get what you actually want. That's what my logic is telling me. That's what the ego is telling me. And it's telling me that to try to protect me so I don't get my hopes up, to protect me from disappointment. Okay? And hurt and pain. I get that. And I appreciate that. Thank you, ego. I appreciate you. However, there is no place for you in my faith, though. My faith will supersede my ego anytime, any day, anywhere. Period. Because just by me consistently saying and affirming and trusting and having faith that I know that my 3D is telling me there's no possible way that I can do this thing, but I know for a fact that I'm about to be in this thing. No, there's no evidence to support that I can actually go to this concert. It's like you have no money, you have no ticket, you have no nothing, you have nothing whatsoever, but you want to have this grand experience. You want to be in the front, you want to be backstage, you want to do this. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But my faith says absolutely it's already done. And because I stand in the it's already done though. My faith says it's already done. And it will be unto me according to my faith. And so my faith says it's done. I don't care. I see you doubt. I see you logic. I see you. I see you ego. I hear you. And guess what? It's still done. My faith still says that it's done. Because there's nothing logical about faith. There's nothing logical about the way things that are not seen suddenly become seen. Okay? In the most incredible ways that you could not even think of. It makes no logical sense. How many times have you been in a situation where the cards were stacked against you, but you kept saying, it's still going to work out. I'm still going to get this thing. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. I have faith that it's still going to happen. And it happens. And it blows everybody's mind because everyone around you was convinced you're crazy. You're crazy. You're delusional. It's not going to happen. You're doing the most. Okay, whatever. They're teasing you, making fun of you, twisting it around to make it seem like you're being crazy or whatever the case may be, right? And then it shows up and their minds are blown and they're like, how? How? And then all of a sudden it'll be, oh, I mean, well, that was just God looking out for you. That was just a miracle. It's like that was me that was a demonstration of my faith. That's what that was. That was a demonstration of my faith. And it was honored. Like your faith is always honored. Whatever you have faith in, whether you have faith in things that serve you or that do not serve you, your faith is always honored. And it is always honored at the measure that you think is possible. Because everyone has the same measure of faith. And I cannot remember who said that, but I read that in a book. Everyone has the same measure of faith. Actually, this author said the same measure of faith that the prophets had, that Jesus had, that Muhammad had, all of that, the same measure of faith that Jesus had to do everything that he did is the same measure of faith in every single human being on the planet, past, present, and future. Think about that for a minute. You have the same exact measure of faith as Jesus if you subscribe to Jesus in any capacity. I'm not saying that even just if you just believe in Christ consciousness or what have you, or in the physical form of Jesus, the things that Jesus could do, the measure of faith that it took, it's the same measure of faith that you have, that I have, that every single person on this planet has. Jesus wasn't given more faith than anybody else. So the difference is that Jesus demonstrated all the things according to his measure of faith, according to the belief that he had in that faith. He knew, I have faith, God gave me this faith, and all I have to do is trust it. I don't have to see it. I don't have to see the end result. I don't have to see evidence of the end result to know that the end result is already here. I don't need that. And because of that, you never saw a bridge of incidents for him. You never saw the bridge. It just happened instantaneously. His manifestations happened instantly. He didn't even need a bridge of incidents to happen to make it make sense to him as to why this thing will happen. It was just done because he trusted so much in the faith that he was given. So I think that is a beautiful demonstration. It's a beautiful example of how we are to be. We have the same power. We have the same power to say be, and it is. We have the same power because it already exists. Everything already exists. Creation is done. We know that. We've heard that many times. Every version of us exists that's possible. And so therefore, it is already done. God has given us everything already. And the reason we don't have it, to quote Neville Goddard, is because it's our failure to believe that we have it is why we don't have it. It's our failure to believe that the world isn't what we want it to be because we don't believe that it is. And in some cases, some people don't want to believe that it is. Right? Okay, that'll be a different video. Okay. That'll be a video for another day. But your faith doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to explain why you have faith in something and why you trust that something's going to work out for you. Explain it to who? For what? For why? Why? You don't have to do that. Okay? This is your life. This is your reality. And you get to decide what you want to experience. And if you want to have something, you want to experience something, you want to be healed from something, you want a specific outcome, who cares what anyone or anything in the 3D has to say? You command it and it is done. It is done already. Before you've even commanded it, it's done because it's already there. You're only putting your awareness on it. And you have faith in the fact that it's already done for you. And that all you have to do is put your awareness on the desired outcome and it's going to materialize. It is going to materialize somehow, some way in this 3D. It's going to do what it has to do. It's going to whatever. I always say harmoniously. Everything comes to me divinely and harmoniously, just because I don't want anybody getting hurt with me getting what I want, but I want it to be harmonious for all parties involved. However, whatever the means are for me to get it, because in this 3D reality, there is time and space here, and sometimes the bridge of incidence needs to be created, okay, for us to see the thing. Sometimes but it's still instant energetically, but for it to be in the 3D, for it to harden, sometimes it has to do some stuff. Okay, let that stuff be harmonious for all the stuff involved. Bless, right? So have faith in that. Have faith that you don't have to explain your faith to anybody. Have faith that your faith does not need to make sense to anybody. Have faith that it does not have to make logical sense. Have faith that you don't have to analyze it. It's not something to be analyzed. Faith is not analytical. This is spiritual. This is supernatural. This is energy. This is the essence of who you are as a being walking this earth, having this human experience. Trust in that. Trust in that. Don't let anybody try to steer you away from your faith because it doesn't make enough sense to them. It doesn't have to. It doesn't even have to make sense to you. You just claim it and it is. It's done. Okay? Thank you all so much. I hope you were inspired and uplifted. And this is what we're going to do for 2025. We're claiming. It doesn't have to make sense. We're claiming what we want because it already exists. Okay? God has given us everything, and we deserve everything that we want. Period. Easily, effortlessly, harmoniously through the path of least resistance. Period. Point blank. Boom. Thank you all. Like, share, subscribe. Click the link in my description box if you want to book a session or you want a channel message. Take care. I am about to get something to eat and do my nails so I can watch the Golden Globes here in a few hours. Stay safe, stay warm if you're in any of the snowy regions. And I will be back with another video soon. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.